Come and dream with me.
Hello and welcome to What Do You Want to Watch, the Explosion Network's premier media podcast. Every fortnight, we get together to talk about movies, TV, and online content, and help you answer the question, was Green Lantern really that bad? Joining me today, Ciaran Marchant.
Yeah, it was that bad, but hi, how you going, Ashley?
Also joining me, Nicholas Pryor.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I fell asleep on a date in that movie.
Really?
Was it a date with Stacey?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
Ooh.
another woman.
Is it
Clearly
even out that?
as good as the Green Lantern movie that date was.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Well, did she shake you awake, or did you just...
No, I don't think she realised.
No?
Oh, so
Okay.
you
just
you
woke
slept
up naturally.
and woke up before she.
Yeah.
Good. That's good. That's
Yeah.
pretty.
Maybe she did realise.
That's a win in my book. You missed a portion
Yeah,
of a
that's
really
the perks of
disappointing
being in a
movie.
dark cinema.
Either she was that enraptured in the movie, which is a bad sign anyway, or I was that unentertaining that I was more entertaining being asleep.
Well, that's that's part of life. Or they just she liked looking at Ryan Reynolds and didn't want to look at you.
Or Blake Lively. One or the other.
Which either, both. You know what?
Didn't
That is
even
the
know she
most
was in that
beautiful.
movie.
That was the most beautiful thing that blossomed out of that movie. Is Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. What a couple.
Do you realise Taika Waititi is in that movie?
Is he?
Is he?
Yeah, he's the best friend.
Oh, he totally is. No, he totally is. Now that I'm thinking
Look,
about it, he has like
I
the.
can't picture it because I try to erase it from my mind.
Or you slept through that part.
Yeah.
Like
Quite possibly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I was surprised when I saw that on his IMDb. I'm like, what? That can't be right.
Just, Green Lantern, whatever. I think there should be a thing where if a whole cast decides to delete something from their IMDb together, then it should be allowed.
No.
Yep.
We have to learn from our mistakes. So, just so you're aware, we're recording this Monday, so we haven't seen Solo yet. But you can listen to our discussion of Solo, a Star Wars movie, on this week's Alderaan Explosion, which you can find at explosionnetwork.com whenever we happen to record that and put it out. Because Dylan.
You know, it'd be funny
But-
if none of us went and saw it.
Well, I don't think we could do a Star Wars Alderaan Explosion podcast without
I think we
that.
could. We just bullshit our way through it.
That would be interesting.
No, I'm pretty sure we did a lot of hate mail.
No.
Email.
Yeah. Emails. Yeah.
So many dislikes.
People have to
All of
listen
the
to us
dislikes.
first.
They want to listen to my opinion. And I think they're glad they're hearing my voice on this week's episode, because who wants to listen to Dylan anyway? Talk about
Look,
movies and TV.
I likely won't be on it because I have no interest in seeing this movie.
Don't you? I didn't get that from the first episode that we recorded.
That's why I wasn't invited back for the second one. I was
Exactly.
too negative.
Exactly.
But you were interested in seeing Deadpool 2 this week, weren't you, Nick? What
I
did you
was.
think?
It was okay.
Yeah? What you gave your mini review was 6.5, I believe.
Did, yeah. I think it fell into the sequel in my mind of kind of like trying too hard, I guess. A lot of the jokes fell flat for me, and the plot and like the whole pacing of it was so disjointed and
It was very unoriginal.
yes.
It felt like a bunch of different movies sort of spliced together.
And that part at the end with spoilers, Deadpool dying, were dragged on far too long.
I think that was
kind of the joke, though.
was the
yeah.
joke.
I know it was a joke, but it didn't work.
Didn't work for you?
I think it worked for me.
No.
Worked for you? What do you think, Ciaran?
I think I need to go see it a second time. I think I'm going maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. But my first viewing, I think I was laughing a lot, and going with my dad, I was laughing a lot, and my dad laughing. So I probably didn't pick up on everything that was right or wrong. I think there were some moments in the movie I was like, wait a minute, what? Like, can't this be like this? Or the story didn't had plot holes in it, which I don't think was a problem because it's fucking Deadpool. I don't think the plot should really be taken too seriously for the movie.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't have to be... In my mind, it can be a silly plot, but it also has to be coherent and be interesting and engaging, which I don't think it was.
Well, it engaged.
And the whole
It made
thing...
sense in me.
From Well, from what I've read and know of Deadpool, the whole thing with Vanessa just seems so out of place for me, I guess, as well.
Well, I think this Deadpool has still got a lot of human qualities that maybe the Deadpool
he's
of
got
the
a lot
comics.
of heart. He's sensitive.
Yeah, like there's still like the Deadpool from the comics has no like quote unquote human qualities to him. He's just this zany, gone past the point of breaking like character. Where in the Ryan Reynolds version of Deadpool, Deadpool has this this caring side of him for Vanessa, wanting a family, for Flame Fist, Fire Fist, whatever that kid's name was, Randall, I don't know, Derek.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Kiwi
that kid's name.
kid.
Kiwi kid. But I think there are some differences for taking this as Ryan Reynolds' version of Deadpool rather than maybe directly from the comic books.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a bit unexpected, just based on the marketing, where it was so funny and zany and stuff to have that. It was a bit unexpected. I enjoyed it. I mean, I don't think it's a great movie, but I enjoyed a lot of the jokes, a lot of the Wolverine callbacks.
Yep, definitely.
Kiwi kid saying he wants to be a superhero, but they don't have plus size superheroes.
Yeah.
Well, they don't. They don't,
yeah.
But that kid, he knew how to use his prison pocket. Or his prison wallet. That's what it's called.
Prison wallet, yep.
Goddamn prison wallet. And I think a lot of this...
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but the one thing that really didn't work was the CGI was pretty bad.
It was what I expected from a
Yeah, I
Deadpool
didn't
movie,
expect
think.
much.
I didn't expect it to be great.
I didn't think... I
think it was better in the first one.
I don't think... Was there much CGI in the first one?
Was it... What particularly... Was it the special character who came...
Yeah, he was
is that
pretty
who we
bad.
talked? Yeah. I thought Colossus looked fine.
And
Colossus
some of the
did
fight
like that.
scenes are like the beginning looked really weird too, where he's jumping around and just kind of looked unnatural.
I'm not sure. It didn't stand out to me. I'll keep an eye out for it on my second viewing. I liked a lot of the a lot of the humor for me hit really well. I think there was even the points with the same thing that happened to me with Deadpool 1 where I was laughing too much at one joke that I missed the second joke that followed closely afterwards.
Yeah.
So I still think there's stuff to find. I do agree its pacing was a bit weird. I remember sitting there in the middle of the movie like, wait, what are we doing here? What's going on? Yeah. But at the same time, I think for me, I forgive it for a lot of its shortcomings just because I really enjoy Ryan Reynolds in that role.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the effort they go into some of the smallest and like most pointless gags, but there's like clearly big effort. Like my favorite one is the Vanisher. I loved the Vanisher. I thought it was hilarious. Thought it was so funny just to have it revealed who that character really was.
Or the actor, yeah.
The actor really was, so...
Even that whole X-Force thing.
Oh, my favourite part of the movie was X-Force. X-Force. Like, just, there wasn't enough Terry Crews for my liking. I needed a little bit more Terry Crews just sprinkled in there just to make me feel good, make me, feel warm inside. But there was all of that whole jumping out of the helicopter scene was really good.
I think my biggest takeaway was I remember sitting in the theatre going, all right, wrap it up now. And when I think of that of a movie, it's just, that's like my prominent thought. Like,
yeah, it's not
I've had enough of this. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
I feel sorry that you felt that. But I'm interested. I was a bit worried when I heard talk, like just before I went to see the movie, because I went a couple days late, I heard talk of people being like, oh, well, they've had to pull back the comedy a little bit or pull back the R rating a little bit for like the future of it fitting in with Disney and Marvel stuff. And I
didn't read any of that.
I didn't think that. I had two, at most, 12-year-old boys sitting right in front of me. I'm like, you're a bad parent.
No, there was a lot of kids. I went, for the first time I've been in a very long time, I went to like a 4:00 screening of the movie on a Saturday, and there was a lot of families. And I was like, what is going on?
This is bad.
Why are you all here? Like, just, there's jokes involving strap-ons and just...
Sodomy.
Just all sorts of stuff. My God, have I... a good song gets me right in the feels. Good song gets... And I've never been so sad. Well, I have been sadder. But I don't know why I started with that. That was a really bad way to. I don't want to build it up that much, but the soft, like the acousticy version of Aha's "Take on Me."
Yeah.
At the end, I was like, "Oh my god, this is like the most perfect song for this moment," and this is really sad. But I want to find that version for my Spotify for a future Bevan Beats playlist. Just check it out, Bevan Beats. Shameless plug.
All right. Moving on. When I was stalking your Trakt, Nick, at trakt.tv/Lord Empire, I saw you started Silicon Valley.
I did.
Did you really?
What do you think?
I
did. What do you think? First season and a bit?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I wouldn't say it's one of the best sitcoms I've seen. Like, it's very the humor is very I don't know, predictable or of that vulgar type, but yeah, like, it's enjoyable. I'll keep on watching it, but it's not one of the best sitcoms I've ever seen.
It gets better, in my opinion. Like, it gets a lot better. Like,
although it peaks at that tip to tip.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the funniest point so far.
Yeah. That's a quality joke.
No,
And for me, so far, the plot has been very predictable as well.
yeah. Once again, in my view of it, it's another movie where I'm like, the plot's not a movie, but another TV show where I don't 100% care for the plot in it. I'm just there for the laugh, and I think the more and more Jin Yang appears in that TV show, the more and more I just love it. He's so funny.
I've watched that clip of him calling Eric on the phone.
Yeah.
You're going to die. Sad and alone.
Fucking hell, Jin Yang. It's just there's a lot of I think the TV show for me is very quotable and very funny to go back to moments. I don't really remember. Maybe I don't remember entire episodes, but I do remember bits and pieces like. Thing of me being so in love with the girl in the last episode of season 1 because of her JavaScripting. Just to find out it was... I can't remember his name.
No,
It was Guilfoyle.
Yeah, Guilfoyle was so in love with her just to find out.
No, it was the Pakistani...
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. It was the other way around. Sorry, I always thought it was Guilfoyle. But no, Guilfoyle did the coding.
Yeah.
And Janesh, yeah. It's a great show. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, it just finished its 5th season. Season finale came out last week, I think. Again, it's pretty solid. I enjoyed it.
Has TJ Miller been written out yet?
Yes.
Yeah, he was written out before this end of season 4.
I don't know how good... I haven't watched that far, but I can't imagine the show without him at this point.
The show struggles at times, but...
They add a bit more Jin Yang.
it adds...
Everybody gets a little bit more.
Yeah.
And obviously, they're in a bigger setting. So
you call a bomb threat on a girl on a train and everyone loses their mind and you lose your job. Who hasn't done that before?
Just it's a pretty normal situation for us blokes in a working environment. Just calling bomb threats. What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you know?
Yeah.
Social justice warriors these days.
Ugh.
Terrible. Couple other finales I want to quickly mention. You guys probably haven't seen them, so don't want to delve in too deep. Arrow had its season finale. It looks like it's setting up season 7 to be pretty something fans of Green Arrow will be interested in. Then there was a river.
You can go ahead and I don't care enough. I do care about the story
for years,
but I don't care. I know, I fell off the bandwagon with Arrow and the whole Marvel universe, the TV thing. I still enjoyed it. I just fell off the bandwagon, so I'm like, this is getting to be a bit too much for me to keep.
Can I just ask a question about Arrow?
Yeah.
Does it still have the topless training montages?
No, they're pretty rare now.
Okay.
Which I'm sure some fans have disappointed.
Because that was very memed.
I mean, how can you do... I don't understand how you get the bar back down. Because
Easy
he always
back
does a
downwards.
seldom ladder up, and then he leaves the bar up there when he comes down. So does he have to climb up the side to pick...
He probably does. You've seen... He climbs all sorts of stuff. That's part of the...
He's a hell of a man.
He is. He's an amazing human being, Stephen Amell. He
Yeah.
probably just, scales back up, grabs it, drops down, and then jumps back up to do it again.
Okay. So spoilers for season 6. If you don't want to listen, just skip ahead 30 seconds. At the end of the season, he's put in a Supermax jail.
Okay.
Now, anybody who knows about Green Arrow, years, for maybe a decade, they've been trying to make a Green Arrow Supermax movie in which he's stuck in a Supermax prison with a bunch of like low-grade supervillains. So potentially that's where we're going to kick off season 7. With that plot line.
I would think it'd be amazing if they did the entire season in the
Unlikely.
prison. Unlikely. But it would be so cool. But I do, I feel like I always go back.
It's funny also because part of the season of The Flash this year has had Barry Allen in jail. So
everybody goes to jail.
Awkward. Everybody goes to jail.
It's a normal trope.
Vigilantes.
I always go back and I read the plot synopsis for the seasons of Arrow once they finish, because I loved Arrow when it first came out. I got really hyped in the first couple of seasons, and then I went through the season, like end of season 3, season 4 slump, where it was like, what is this show? What is going on? I'm interested to see how the CW keeps the momentum on these shows, just in general. They're adding another series, aren't they, next year? Did I read that somewhere, maybe?
No, I don't think so. Not another
That's
superhero
fine.
series.
Isn't Black Lightning something?
It is still going.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it already started.
The whole first season's been...
Do you watch that one?
No, I don't. I watch
Racist.
Arrow and I watch Flash. I know. Maybe a little bit. Moving on to another CW show. Riverdale had its season finale. It was a little bit of a setting up season 3. The penultimate episode was the one where everything pretty much happened. But it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Gotta love Betty and Veronica and Jughead and Archie. It's good. When Dylan comes back, we'll talk about it.
I find that weird how quite a few TV shows I've watched, I can't name them off the top of my head, but all the action happens in the penultimate episode, but then the next episode seems very superfluous.
It deals with the aftermath of... It's like Game of Thrones.
It's
normally
a
the second last
nowadays.
episode. Yeah.
It's pretty custom nowadays for TV to have like the big episode to be episode 9 and then episode 10 not to finish it up on,
or
like
to
not to finish
just
up
deal
the
with
season.
what happens.
To kind of deal up or tie off some loose ends and tie it into a nice package for the next season. I
want more Who Shot JR moments.
Yeah, there are some shows that end on cliffhangers, which we'll get to a bit later, maybe. And the other one was Designated Survivor that I've watched the season finale of. It ended on a... We'll get into why it ended on a weird note, but it's Kiefer Sutherland's going to run for the next term as president. And it was really... There was a really awkward segment because his son has not been on the show for like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And then there's this major plot line in this episode about his son.
Can I ask some... Because I've been interested in that show. What season is it up to now?
It is just finished season 2.
So, how much of the show is dealing with the aftermath of him becoming that, to transitioning to him to actually just being the president?
Probably, I would say, maybe halfway through the first season.
Yeah. Because for me, just him, like, obviously not watching the show, the whole premise of the show is interesting, but just...
Yeah.
In my mind, him devolving into just being politician man just levels out for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's the same as House of Cards. I found House of Cards very interesting when he was chasing presidency. And then the moment he got it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Sure. I kind of care.
Yeah, I fell off House of Cards
Yeah.
too.
I was like, I kind of still care, but at the same time, he got what he wanted. There's, I guess there's stories to tell after this, but sure. Cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
The reason I say it's a bit odd is because this week it got cancelled.
Oh, really?
Designated Survivor was one of the shows that was cancelled. There is a chance of it being picked up by Netflix. Obviously, they have the international screening rights, so they might want to pick it up for another season. The only thing apparently holding it back is Hulu has the exclusive rights in the US, so they would have to
I don't think Netflix would
pay
do
Hulu
that.
out. The other two things, going into season 3, they're onto their 5th showrunner, which isn't
That's
a
not
very
bad.
good sign.
Oh dear.
And apparently part of Kiefer Sutherland's contract was that they were going to move production from Toronto to Los Angeles, which would bump up the production costs.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's...
They don't normally do moves that make him cost more.
Yeah. So Designated Survivor, is it going to come back? Probably not.
Hey, if
I
you're
would
going to
say.
have Keith
Would be my guess.
Sutherland, you got to pay the money, I guess.
Yeah. Other cancelled show this week, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Oh, how heartbreaking was that?
Well,
Cancelled by Fox.
now that we
Everybody
look back,
cried. Internet went crazy, and then 24 hours later, it was picked up by NBC.
like, I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on, right? That deal was probably already done
I would
somewhere
assume,
in the
maybe.
background. Like that deal was
I don't think anything could be done that quickly.
no, like that deal was done somewhere in the background. They announced it as cancelled and gave it a day to let the internet
Go crazy.
rile itself up. and go
I've
crazy.
got a mad theory about this. In my
Yeah.
mind, because they're still finalising the deal with Disney or whatever, Fox are like cancelling or selling off their properties to try and get as much money as possible before that
Well,
happens.
this show was being produced by an NBC partner, and was,
Okay.
so Fox was paying licensing fees to get, I think it's like $1.4 million per an episode
Oh.
to like show the episode or whatever. So I guess it makes sense that NBC has picked it up.
Yeah. Will that
And why Fox would cut it?
will that change its international streaming rights too?
I
Like,
don't think so.
It'd be a shame because
I think that's
the
all
reason I used to pirate it and then I fell off it because I was so far behind and
Yeah.
not being current. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I like my favorite thing about Brooklyn Nine-Nine is I don't feel bad about not being current with it. I like watching it in pockets of just I need to laugh at something. Awesome,
Yeah.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Let's watch 3 episodes, and I'll just watch the next 3 episodes I haven't watched yet, and then go back to it at some point else. Like I don't feel the need to be in the know with everything with that show.
Even now, I just go back and watch my like episodes I like to watch
Just
at
you
random.
just rewatch the Halloween episodes all the time.
Yeah, Halloween
because-
episodes. Yeah. So we're going to be getting more Terry Crews next year.
God damn it! I love Terry. Terry Crews, so great. Just in general.
Also cancelled this week, Last Man on Earth. Sorry, Tom.
That's upsetting. I really
It is
enjoyed that show
upsetting
too.
because apparently season 4 ended on a cliffhanger.
Oh.
That is the worst.
That's when you
Absolute worst.
know, or like you feel like the showrunners aren't feeling the pressure of getting cancelled. Like they don't feel like they were going to get cancelled, or
Well, they're just backing themselves to get...
yeah. No more cliffhangers, people. End every show on a definitive note for each season, just in case.
Or just, yeah, I guess leave it open-ended.
Like do like a final ending of each episode, each season, and then at the start of the next season, be like, "Oh,
Open with the cliffhanger.
We're undoing everything that we just did! Yay!" Like
Yeah.
this is how the show's supposed to be.
Yeah, so Last Man on Earth. Another show that got cancelled, The Expanse.
Oh
never
yeah,
heard
this
of
was
this
pretty
show.
heartprocketly too.
Yeah, that's pretty heartbreaking. That one's also getting
It's
shot
got
around a few
100%
different
on Rotten
places.
Tomatoes.
Yeah, the season 3 was apparently very good. Apparently, the problem with Sci-Fi was the deal was that only gave them rights to the first viewing,
Yeah.
so they didn't have streaming rights or whatever.
Yeah.
So obviously, with a show like that,
I really hope Netflix picks it up because I think it's really one of these shows that got a lot of its viewership and following from streaming, not watching it aired.
Yeah,
Because that's how I come to it on Netflix. Obviously, we can't watch it live here, but it really is a phenomenal show.
I heard nothing but good things about it, so I might have a look into it.
Better than
It's
Firefly.
all what?
Better than Firefly.
Well, for a start, it's got more episodes, so that's
Must mean it's better. If there's more of it.
Exactly.
that's how it works, right?
The Simpsons must be the best show in the world.
Okay, that's where that theory falls down.
Yep.
And finally, final show that I wanted to mention that got cancelled this week, Lucifer, which I've seen one particular person in our feeds fighting very hard to get saved.
Seemed like another show that was weird to get cancelled because it's got its following. Like it's got a very
It's got a strong following. Yeah,
It's got a very strong following. So I was a bit obviously it's either not pulling numbers.
Or Fox is just cutting everything.
Well,
'cause
true.
it's another Fox show. Yeah, so if people were not happy at Fox this week, I can see possibly it being picked up by Netflix or Hulu, or possibly the best option would be getting picked up for the DC streaming service, DC Universe, seeing it's a DC property.
Well, yeah,
Add another string to its bow.
that does make sense.
Yeah.
Is this
so
part of the whole Constantine Swamp Monster thing?
No, it's separate.
No, separate.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Yeah, it was like a Vertigo based on. It's a spin-off of Sandman.
Oh, it's a Neil Gaiman thing. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how do you guys feel? I know neither of you watch it, and I'm a little bit off the bandwagon for the second season. But Did you guys see the hoo-ha about the Lethal Weapon?
Lethal Weapon. That was the next story I was going to talk about. Clayne Crawford got fired for being a terrible person on set.
Or just
Yeah.
apparently.
What a surprise! Riggs got fired for being a douchebag.
Riggs got fired for being Riggs.
Yeah, pretty much. He was too much like Riggs.
I honestly forgot this show was even a thing.
I loved the show. It was really good. I can't remember why I stopped. I know it took a break. It did everything a show normally does when I stop watching. It took like a 2-week break, and then I forgot about it 2 weeks later.
I hate the bloody 3-month break that some shows do.
Oh, it's like, why?
Yeah, they have like a mid-season.
Was Joe Pesci in it?
No.
That sucks.
But the oddest piece of news out of this is who's replacing him.
Mel Gibson.
No.
Oh.
Sean William Scott. Stifler is going to be...
Is he going to play a different character, or is he just going to take over Riggs?
No, different character.
Different character. It's being pitched that it could be Riggs' brother.
Yeah, I've heard this, and I'm like... I automatically hate this. I'm just like... What? Why? I really dislike it. Like, I understand the issues going on set meant that they couldn't do anything else really for it. They've tried, giving him warnings and everything for it, but
Who was the actor that played him?
Clayne Crawford.
so I don't think I haven't seen him in anything beforehand. He was really good as Riggs though. Like I really enjoyed.
Wayne's brother is playing.
Yes. Yeah.
One of them.
Damon Wayans.
Yes.
Major Payne.
Oh my god, I hate you so much.
I love that movie.
That's a good movie.
But yeah, so it's an interesting. I'm gonna keep an eye on that show, but I'm not necessarily gonna.
I don't
watch
know.
it.
Yeah, I don't mind Sean William Scott.
How long's
He's
that
alright.
show been going for? 62 episodes. That's ridiculous.
It's only 2 seasons, I believe.
2 seasons.
So it might include the picked up 3rd season. I would
Okay,
assume.
Yeah.
Because Riggs is only 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm guessing. Yeah.
Okay. This week, YouTube made some changes to YouTube Red. They're going to be changing it to YouTube Premium. They're going to be including YouTube Music as part of the deal, and then for an extra $2, you can $2 US, you can get your ad-free videos, your all YouTube originals and downloads, play in the backgrounds features. It seems like they're just moving the Google Music across to YouTube. Is that the guess, Nick?
Well,
Because you're a big user.
they currently have a YouTube Music app, which is absolute fucking garbage compared to the Google Play Music app, which
Or
I'm
Spotify.
incredibly pissed off about because I'll be grandfathered into a new deal, so I won't be paying any more for all the stuff, but if they really have to make serious changes to the YouTube Music app to get me to continue subscribing.
Do you have to play video when you're listening to the music, or do you have the option to turn it off?
It's not that on the Google Music app, there's videos and just songs, or you can play the music with the video off. But it's just the functionality of the app is just so hard to navigate, and you can't just create a queue of music you want to play. You just click one video and it just keeps on playing through similar type of stuff as well. It's just
Okay, yeah. Well,
it's
hopefully
just very
they
unintuitive.
you would think that they'd get the app people
Yeah.
to just completely do it.
Because they've been
Once it
saying
kicks off.
Google Music won't be going away until late next year, so there's still that going for it. But yeah, I don't know. And it's hard too because I kind of want to keep it because I'm so used to not watching ads on YouTube.
Yeah.
I do it every now and then when I open a browser, when I open Chrome here, because I have on my PC I've got Firefox is my own personal YouTube, and then Chrome is my Explosion Network YouTube.
Yeah.
And every now and then I'll open up the Explosion Network and click on a freaking video and an ad load. I'll be like, oh fuck this shit, and just quickly jump over because
Jeez. You guys really hate ads.
I really can't stand ads.
You don't realise, it was fine when I was watching the ads and I had no choice, but now that I don't watch them, it's just so hard to go back to watching
the
them.
worst thing, I hate it when I don't realise that it's open and I open a Rooster Teeth video. I open up an Achievement Hunter Let's Play and I look down and there's 4 little yellow ad symbols.
Exactly, I hate the ads through the
And I'm like, alright, nope.
Yeah.
Nope, can't have that. That's a waste of my time. I don't want that interrupting the video because the video like stutters and it plays the ad and then it takes a second to reload. It's just, no, just take it all away. I'm happy to pay for it to be gone, to be able to lock my phone and just play stuff. It's fine.
Have you watched any of the premium stuff? Any of their content
actually,
any good?
I've watched the PewDiePie. They did some premium PewDiePie show where he gets scared in each episode, and that was fine.
I thought that
guess.
got cancelled after his.
It did, yeah. I only watched it when I first got Red, and then the other one I watched was some guy that goes through experiments. Like the first one was he locks himself in like complete solitary for 72 hours, and how the mind gets affected by different kind of trauma and stuff like that.
Okay.
That was pretty interesting, but like you can tell there's production values, but the content wasn't anything you wouldn't be able to find elsewhere on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
I've watched Laser Team 1 and 2 by Rooster Teeth are on YouTube Red, so I watched both of those, and I've just started watching Cobra Kai.
Isn't that on
like
Netflix?
Really good. No, Cobra Kai's on YouTube.
I'm pretty sure it's on
good?
Netflix here.
Is it on
No,
Netflix here?
I don't think so.
No, I've
Sure?
been watching it on YouTube. You're
Yeah, it's
confusing me.
Why would a YouTube give a Netflix
I was
show?
like, it's a YouTube Red show. Like, what? I'm so confused. No. Like, I've just started watching Cobra Kai, and there's like the first episode you start watching, you're like, oh no, are they going to ruin Karate Kid? Is this going to happen? But then it starts getting really good. It's really good. Like, if you liked the Karate Kid, like the original Karate Kid movies, it's awesome. It's so good. You know?
Yeah, good to know. Good to know.
Check it out if you got YouTube Red.
I think this is an interesting move. I think obviously they're trying to position this more as a rival to Spotify and Apple Music than maybe as a Netflix rival.
Yeah. It'd be
And
ridiculous
obviously
to put this else there.
Obviously, the getting rid of ads is an extra bonus. It'd be interesting to see with this move how much more effort they put into original content, though.
To be honest, I'll probably never touch Google. I'll never touch YouTube Music. I'll just continue using Spotify. I've
been using the network account on Spotify
because I put premium
the past
on
the past couple of days, and I don't like it as much as I do Google Music. It's just something.
Well, you're not going to have a choice because Google Music's going away.
And that's the hardest thing. If it does go away and YouTube Music app is trash, I don't know what I'm going to do because...
What's wrong? So what's wrong? What's the big difference?
I don't know. Some of this stuff, like when I play radio and stuff like that, it doesn't play songs... Like
Is it just the algorithms not right?
Yeah, the algorithms don't like it. And some of the functionality is kind of weird too. Like when you start a playlist and there's an option to add the music to the queue, it plays that song and then just deletes it altogether. Like you can't hit back and go back to the song. You have to find the song again and add it to the queue again, which is kind
Why
of...
don't you just add it to a playlist?
If you add it to your own playlist, it works.
But I'm not one that creates playlists. I do queues.
Maybe you need to change that.
I don't know.
No.
It's part of my... And the other thing with the algorithms and stuff, once you listen to more music, Spotify fixes that pretty quickly. Like I love the daily playlists from Spotify, the daily mixes, because it has grouped together all my music listening habits in different sections. Like if I'm feeling, there'll always be like an indie playlist, there'll be a pop punk playlist, there'll be a rock playlist, and I'll have all my artists that I love, and it just does it all. And then there's also, I think the gem of Spotify is still the, I can't remember what it's officially called, but it's like the new music playlist where it just grabs like 20 songs that you might like. And then you can say, did you like it? Did you not like it?
And another thing that I've noticed, like, it'll play a song, but it'll play a weird version of it, like not the original studio recorded one.
It depends on because they'll have them all listed. It just depends on which one has the highest listen to on Spotify, to which it lists first, which can be a pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Spotify's more designed to either create your own playlists or listen to the playlists that other people have designed.
Or podcasts. Get the Explosion Network on Spotify.
Hell yeah.
Oh, are we on Spotify?
Not yet.
No, not yet.
We need to be.
We should get on that Stitcher train.
They've got a very stringent.
I've heard it's
requirements.
like it's loosened up a bit. I heard
Yeah,
it's
okay.
not as bad.
Maybe we have to look into that.
Yeah. Still.
Next story. Sad news for Fast and Furious fans. Chris Morgan, the writer of every single film since Tokyo Drift, will not be writing Fast and Furious 9. He's going to be working on the Hobbs and Deckard film.
I've heard he's moved on to this other film, Fate of the Dragons.
No, definitely not. So Daniel Casey has been up and coming writer, has been picked up to write Furious 9.
Look, to be fair, it can't do any worse.
We'll see.
We'll see. I think it's got a special formula to Fast and Furious that if you don't, like, it's got a level of like cool, like awesomeness and hot garbage that you could easily tip that into hot garbage very quickly.
Yeah. So Netflix announced that they're making a horror anthology helmed by Guillermo del Toro. It's going to be 10 episodes. He's going to get a bunch of good up-and-coming horror filmmakers. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I wonder how much money they threw at him. It's got to be a lot, right?
I don't know.
I like the idea. I think they've done something similar like this before. Not Netflix itself, but like in general. I've got to look it up to see what I find. But generally, I like the idea of it.
It's not Netflix. It's not. It's a different movie maker that's doing that, like connected universe for like different monster movies or some crap.
The Dark Universe.
Yeah,
I think they've been trying to do that
with the
for
Mummy.
Decades.
Yeah, with the Mummy, and they want to do like Dracula and Frankenstein and stuff. And I'm like,
Well, I
was the
remember
plan.
that Benicio del Toro Wolfman movie was supposed to be like the start of it.
Yep. And then they made the Mummy, and that was going to be the start of it. And now they might still be making it. We don't know.
The idea is fucking stupid. Like, why do it? It doesn't need to be done.
Because everything is better when it's connected. Isn't that right?
Connected things make more money. See Avengers Infinity War.
Yes, but people have to care about the things that it's connected to.
I care about Frankenstein. If he had my love, maybe he wouldn't have been a monster after all.
Deep.
I know.
So, odd piece of news. Apparently they're working on a Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe movie. You know Snake Eyes, the mute black guy with the ninja swords. They're making them.
Why didn't they just make another G.I. Joe movie? The first one was awesome. The second one, not so much.
I think you've got the wrong way round.
I really enjoyed the first one.
The first one's alright. The second one is much better.
Is
I haven't
it?
seen either of them.
I remember the second one being dumb.
The second one has a rock for a start.
Yeah, but
Bruce Willis.
it's just weird. It's like, okay.
Which one was the one that had Doctor Who in it and it was fucking nanomachines eating everything?
Oh, that's the first one.
That was the first one.
That's
the
fucking
first one.
ridiculous.
With, Joseph
What?
Gordon-Levitt.
You're calling G.I. Joe fucking ridiculous?
Yep.
You just talk. Oh, I'm not even going into that. Before, going quickly back to Fate and Furious, did you hear the spin-off is going to be about The Rock and Jason Statham's character having like a buddy cop movie?
Yeah.
That's sure.
Does that make sense?
Sure. Let's do it.
Anyway. This is getting written by Evan Spilopoulos. I know it's a hard name to pronounce.
That was fucked.
His past writing credits are Brett Ratner's Hercules,
Okay.
Disney's live-action Beauty and the Beast,
Okay.
Universal's Huntsman Winter's War,
Ooh.
and he's also been tapped to write Bright 2.
Oh, that's an acclaimed collection of movies right there. Boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
strap him in and give us Snake Eyes, everybody.
It's going to be good.
Give us them Snake Eyes. He's not going to talk. He's going to be all like muted. Maybe he's going to feature in A Quiet Place too.
he would live, wouldn't he?
He would live. He would be a badass in that world. Imagine that. You're watching Quiet Place 2. There's people scared of the Wendigos, and whoopah! Snake Eyes comes out and like slices them all up.
Okay. So it was announced this week that Gotham's going to have its final 5th season this upcoming year.
It's been going that long?
Yeah, it has.
Fuck.
But the producers of Gotham are going to be making Pennyworth, the Alfred prequel series.
I've heard that.
Fucking
I've heard
God.
that. I read that. Haven't they just swapped the Joker? Like they
I have no idea.
Just
No, I read about it. They got a character that is essentially the Joker, but they're not allowed to use the name of the Joker because DC movies or whatever, Warner Brothers has said something to protect their intellectual property or like recognition of the name. They're not allowed to use the actual Joker. so he's kind of like pseudo Joker.
Yeah.
But now he has like a brother that's going to be like a different version of the Joker or some crap.
I don't know. I don't watch the show. I was just reading.
I don't
the
know.
headline.
Apparently they've now swapped it, so they have a different version of the Joker now to show the different possible sides of it. And the show's going to end in him becoming Batman. Okay.
That show fucking lost me in the first season when there was some stupid fucking bad guy like abducting people with balloons.
That sounds like a plausible Gotham villain.
Didn't Batman abduct somebody with a balloon?
I don't know.
He did in Dark Knight. No, the other one.
I mean, a major character in a recent run of Batman is Kite Man.
Kite Man's pretty
Flies
great.
around on a kite. Yeah.
He's almost as good as Calendar Man.
Yeah.
Calendar Man is interesting. Kite Man just sounds fucking stupid.
Anyway, Pennyworth follows Bruce Wayne's legendary butler, Alfred Pennyworth, a former British SAS soldier who forms a security company and goes to work for Thomas Wayne, Bruce's billionaire father, in the 1960s London. I don't know. Could be interesting. Young, hot Alfred going around.
Well,
killing-
the other Alfred, I like when I watched Gotham, Alfred was an interesting part of Gotham because he was very different from the Alfred we knew. He was younger. He was, a bit rough around the edges. I was like, okay, interesting. Obviously, their audiences have proven to really like him and like his character. So, yeah, let's make some more money, people. I mean, let's make another show people are going to love.
Okay. And last bit of news. Tenacious D is making a sequel to The Pick
fuck
of
me.
Destiny.
This fucking news.
And apparently it's coming out later this year, but apparently they haven't started filming or doing anything with it. I don't know.
I feel like
it's a bit of a
troll.
mess.
I feel like it's a troll.
Would you be open to another Pick of Destiny movie? I
I'd
haven't
be
seen
open
so.
to it because I enjoy the first one, but the fact that they made the first one bombed, they then had to make a subsequent album to be like, we don't care about what the critics said, we're all good, and then they're making another one, and it's gonna get shit canned again. Hey, as long as it's got another good soundtrack.
Nick, what do you think?
I'll watch it. I enjoy Tenacious D and their music. I didn't mind the first movie. Tim Robbins in it was pretty funny.
Good. The reason we've got a lot of cancelled shows this week is because they had Upfronts this week, which is their big thing where they tell advertisers what shows they're going to be producing this year. So I thought it'd be fun to go through every single show announced at this year's Upfronts. I've got synopsises. We'll just go through all of them. If you've got anything you want to talk, any notes you want to say, anything? Yes, no, maybes. We'll get into it. So,
I predict I'll have my head in my hand during most of this segment.
Yeah, probably. Okay, here we go. Starting with NBC. First show. The In-Between. Cassie Bishop was born with a gift, though she may call it a curse. She can see and can communicate with the dead, helping them with their unresolved problems, whether she likes it or not. When her longtime friend, Detective Tom Hackett, and his new partner, former FBI agent Damien Asante, need help solving a starkly puzzling murder, Cassie agrees to use her abilities. Despite her reluctance, she may now have found a way to keep her demons at bay, all while solving some of the city's most challenging cases.
This has been done 5 times, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
This has been
It's
done
like a
5
medium-
or 10 times.
It's a Reaper. No, Pushing Daisies.
Pushing Daisies, there was
Love
that
that
one with fucking Jennifer Love Hewitt.
What was that called?
The Ghost Whisperer. Yeah.
Ghost
just
Whisperer.
Fucking...
So no? No from you guys?
I don't even... Nick and me put our head in our hands about the same time, so I'm going to say no.
Okay. Next up, Manifest. When Montego Air Flight 828 landed safely after a turbulent but routine flight, the crew and the passengers were relieved. Yet, in the span of those few hours, the world has aged 5 years, and their friends, family, and colleagues, after mourning their loss, had given up hope and moved on. Now, faced with the impossible, they've all been given a second chance. But as their new realities become clear, a deeper mystery unfolds, and some of the returned passengers soon realize they may be meant for something greater than they ever thought possible. From Robert Zemeckis and Jack Rempke comes an emotionally rich, unexpected journey into a world grounded in hope, heart, and destiny.
I have no idea what this show's about.
Apparently, it's been described as Lost in reverse.
Look, it has potential, but knowing the state of how mass popular TV shows go, this is gonna nosedive.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Next up, we've got Abby's. From the producers of The Good Place comes a hilarious, aspirational new comedy about the best bar in San Diego, home to good prices, great company, and of course, Abby. This unlicensed makeshift bar nestled in her backyard is the opposite of everything annoying about today's party scene. There are rules at Abby's. No cell phones, not even to look something up. Earning a seat at the bar takes time, and losing a challenge means drinking a limey, sugary, not beer drink. As the oddball cast of regulars will tell you, hanging out at Abby's is a coveted honour. But once you're in, you're family.
First things first, because the picture here is some girl I don't recognise from the janitor
Natalie
from Scrubs.
Morales.
If the janitor from Scrubs is a lead actor, character...
I think he's a supporting character.
Okay. Because he does not do lead at all.
It was okay.
Not a fan of the middle?
The middle was great. I really enjoyed the middle.
The why did it get cancelled?
Well, obviously not enough people did.
It ran
but
it, 7 years. I mean,
it ran for a very long time. All up, I enjoy him as a character and a lead. I think I've got, there's some hope for this because A Good Place was a very good show, a very good TV series. So, hey, give it a shot.
Yeah. Sounds good.
It sounds like Cheers.
It does. If this show doesn't end with them getting shut down because it's an unlicensed bar in someone's backyard, I mean, I'll be disappointed. Next up, we have The Enemy Within. In this fast-paced spy-hunting thriller, Erica Shepard, played by Jennifer Carpenter, is a brilliant former CIA operative, now known as the most notorious traitor in American history, serving life in a supermax prison. Against every fibre in his being, but with nowhere else to turn, FBI agent Will Keaton enlists Shepard to help track down a fiercely dangerous and elusive criminal she knows all too well. For Keaton, it's not too easy. For Keaton, it's not too easy to trust the woman who cost him so much. While Shepard and Keaton have different motivations for bringing the enemy to justice, they both know that to catch a spy, they must think like one.
A, it sounds fucking terrible. B, calling it now, about a couple episodes or halfway through the season, it's going to be revealed that she got either double-crossed or she didn't do anything really, and they'll be capturing the spy to prove her innocence. Yep, no thanks.
No.
I'm good, thanks.
I think the nail on the head is like Blacklist, except the villain character is not very interesting.
Doesn't sound like the main characters are very interesting either.
No, I think the Jennifer Carpenter character is not like the Bill Spader. James Spader.
It's these synopsises don't do the shows very well because
I know they don't, but
they sound like fucking $5 fucking airport novels.
They just sound like they're being shows that have already been done before. They're just redoing them to get.
There's no original ideas, Ciaran.
No.
All right, next up, I Feel Bad. Emmett is the perfect mum, boss, wife, friend, and daughter. Okay, she's not perfect. In fact, she's just figuring it out like the rest of us. Sure, she feels bad when she has a sexy dream about someone other than her husband, or when she pretends not to know her children when they misbehave in public, or when she uses her staff to help solve personal problems. But that's okay, right? Nobody can have it all and do it perfectly. From an executive producer, Amy Poehler, comes a modern comedy about being okay with being imperfect.
You know what? I was about to say, this looks like something Amy Poehler's involved with. And look, you hit it on the head. No thanks. Done this, I feel like 3 times already.
Anti-Amy Poehler.
I'm not anti-Amy Poehler, but it just screams like her MO. Just looking at that picture you have is just, ugh. Okay, no thanks. And I think Nick's face says it all. Audience members, he looks disappointed, disrespected that Ashley has put this in front of him.
I think the title of that show is the title of this episode.
Probably won't be. Next up, we have The Village. Welcome to The Village, an apartment building in Brooklyn that appears like any other from the outside, but is quite unique inside. The people who reside here have built a bonded family of friends and neighbours. Sarah's a nurse and single mum, raising a teen. Gabe's a young law student who's got a much older and unexpected roommate. Ava must secure the future of a young US-born son when ICE comes knocking. Nick's a veteran who's returned from war, and the heart and soul of the building, Ron and Patricia, have captivating tales all their own. These are the hopeful, warm, heartwarming, and challenging stories of life that prove family is everything, even if it's the one you make with the people around you.
And these are the days of our lives.
Yeah, so it's getting This Is Us comparisons. Obviously, This Is Us is like the big network drama over in America.
Isn't just the same person write these? Because like a couple
I
shows
assume
ago,
that all these are being done by the same copywriter for the
right?
for
Okay,
NBC.
because one of them already used it may look like this, but it's actually this. It's heartwarming and family, and just yeah, no, I'm good.
No. Last one from NBC. New Amsterdam. Inspired by Bellevue, the oldest public hospital in America, this unique medical drama follows a brilliant and charming Dr. Max Goodwin, the institution's newest medical director who sets out to tear up the bureaucracy and provide exceptional care. How can he help? Well, the doctors and staff have heard this one before. Not taking no for an answer. Dr. Goodwin must disrupt the status quo and prove he will stop at nothing to breathe new life into this understaffed, underfunded, and underappreciated hospital. The only one in the world capable of treating Ebola patients, prisoners from Rikers, and the President from the United States under one roof, and return it to the glory that put it on the map.
Well, my first point is it's really cool that they're using the same characters from The Village in this next show, because that's really interesting. Or you didn't, switch over to the next slide. But
Is that Matthew Fox?
No, it's not.
but also, okay, now that I've seen the picture, because all I could think about when you were talking was that the Good Doctor that's currently going on with that kid that's been stretched.
This is no Good Doctor.
Yeah, but this is not the Good Doctor, clearly, now that I've seen the picture. Sure, it's another medical drama. My mum's going to love it.
Yep. All right, moving over to CBS. We have FBI. From Emmy Award winner Dick Wolf and the team behind Law & Order franchise, FBI is a fast-paced drama about the inner workings of the New York office of the Federal Bureau of Investigations. These first-class agents bring all their talents, intellect, and technical expertise to tenaciously investigate cases of tremendous magnitude, including terrorism, organized crime, and counterintelligence, in order to keep New York and the country safe.
These places have like a spinning wheel, right? They have like a spinning wheel with just all of the names of like federal and state like law enforcement.
I'm pretty sure that CBS is also doing SWAT. They're doing NCIS.
NCIS, CSI.
They've still got some law orders.
Law and Order SVU. Just like they spin it, right? And they're just like, all right, this season's show is going to be this, and it's just stop.
I'm gonna put out a blanket statement. A crime procedural has to be pretty fucking special to get me interested in it.
Yeah, that's fair in this day and age. Alright, next up, we have the rebooted Murphy Brown. Multiple Emmy Award winners Candice Bergen and series creator Diane English reunite for Murphy Brown, the revival of the groundbreaking comedy about the eponymous broadcast news legend and her biting take on current events, now in a world of 24-hour cable, social media, fake news, and a vastly different political climate. Amid a divided nation, chaotic national discourse, and rampant attacks on the press, Murphy returns to the airwaves with her own original FYI team. Lifestyle reporter Corky Sherwood, investigative journalist Frank Fontana, and producer Miles Silverberg. Murphy's son Avery shares his mother's competitive spirit and quick wit, and has followed in her journalistic footsteps perhaps too closely. Now back in the game, Murphy is destined to draw the line between good television and honest reporting, proving that the world needs Murphy Brown more than ever.
Look, the length it's gone to try and sell someone on the show automatically tells me it's going to be bad. Like, I didn't enjoy the original Tarantino movie, so this remake is not going to entice me.
No, that's Jackie Brown. That's Jackie Brown, very different.
Wasn't that just the synopsis of Anchorman 2?
It could have been.
That was very similar to the synopsis.
I thought it was called
Anchorman
Ron
2.
Burgundy, though.
Well, I'm Ron Burgundy. I was bored halfway through that synopsis.
Yeah. Have either of you got a history with Murphy Brown?
Nope.
I've never watched it.
Never seen it.
I'm guessing she's the lady in the middle of that picture. Sure.
Yeah.
No, thanks.
No. Next up, we have Happy Together.
Oh, God.
Damon Wayans Jr. and Amber Stevens West star in a comedy about a 30-something happily married couple who begin to reconnect with their younger, cooler selves when Cooper, an exuberant young pop star, is drawn to their superordinary suburban life, unexpectedly moves in with them.
Who's this? Is this CBS, yeah?
This is CBS, yeah.
CBS comedy. No thanks.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, it's just looks terrible.
I like Damon Wayans
The
Jr.
screen looks like it's from The New Girl or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the kind of show that
I'm not interested.
people make.
It's the kind of show that people make.
Yep. All right. Next up, we have The Neighborhood. The Neighborhood stars Cedric the Entertainer as an opinionated neighbor in a comedy about what happens when the friendliest guy in the Midwest moves his family to a neighborhood in Los Angeles where not everyone looks at him or appreciates his extreme neighborlessness. When Dave Johnson and his family arrive from Michigan, they're unfazed that their new dream home is located in a community quite different from their small town. However, their opinionated next-door neighbor, Calvin Butler, is wary of the newcomers, certain that they'll disrupt the culture of the block. Dave realizes that fitting into their new community is far more complex than he expected, but if he can find a way to connect with Calvin, they'll have an excellent chance of making their new neighborhood their home.
In a world where the neighborhood is in danger, Cedric the Entertainer plays Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah, pretty
It's
much.
like, oh, no thanks, I'm fucking done.
No. It's not great that apparently they recast the lead. Yeah, Josh Lawson dropped out and Max Greenfield from New Girl took over. For those interested at home. So I'm guessing that's a no from you guys.
Yeah, how about no, Scott? How about
No again.
How about no?
And no again.
All right. Next up, we have Fam, a woman's dreams of an upstanding
Hold
life
on.
with a
Stop. What's the title?
Fam.
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 Skip it. Next one.
Can we not? Let's just go.
A woman's dreams of an
No,
upstanding
actually,
life with
we're
a new
not doing
fiance
this.
and his upstanding family are dashed when her younger train wreck half-sister comes to live with her to escape their train wreck of a father. Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah,
It's
just
gonna be
skip.
cancelled.
Don't even get... Ash, I don't even know what you tried.
I mean, I just want to get the sentence out.
Just the commitment. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Next up, we have God Friended Me. God Friended Me stars Brandon Michael Hall in a humorous, uplifting drama about Miles Finer, an outspoken atheist whose life is turned upside down when he receives a friend request on social media from God and unwittingly becomes an agent of change in the lives and destinies of others around him. After repeated pokes by God, Miles' curiosity takes over and he accepts the ultimate friend request and follows the signs to Cara Bloom, an online journalist. Brought together by the God account, the two find themselves investigating God's friends' suggestions and inadvertently helping others in need. Miles is set on getting to the bottom of what he believes is an elaborate hoax, but in the meantime, he'll play along and in the process change his life forever.
Let me start. This could have had potential to do something really fucking interesting, but they've gone a whole fucking, I imagine, 24 episode arc where every third episode is like advances the plot, but each like intermediate episode is like, oh, I helped this person out this episode, and then I helped this person out that episode. It's just, they cater to the lowest common denominator.
In a realistic environment, you'd be like, friend requests from God, fucking fake account, block.
Yeah, immediately I went to his the God Facebook account that's on Facebook at the moment, and it's just memes and stuff like that.
Yeah. I know, it could be interesting.
No, it can't.
Probably not, though. Next up, we have The Code. The military's brightest minds take on our country's toughest challenges, inside the courtroom and out, where each attorney is trained as a prosecutor, a defense lawyer, an investigator, and a Marine.
Holy crap! Is that all of it?
I'm predicting it right now. One episode, the courtroom gets stormed by whatever, armed people, and they have to use their Marine training to fucking get out of it.
Yeah. Maybe.
No, definitely.
No.
What is
pass.
TV nowadays? What is this
I mean,
crap?
this is CBS.
Thank God for HBO and Netflix.
Next up, we have The Red Line. After a white cop in Chicago mistakenly shoots and kills a black doctor, we follow 3 vastly different families that all have connections with the case as a story is told from each perspective. What have you got against black people, Nick?
Nothing. I just feel like this is, I don't know, a very risky show to be making.
Yeah. This could go bad very easily.
Yeah, extremely easily. Because I imagine, not judging by the title and how it's written, it's filled with, the writer's room is filled with just white people.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't done that much research. But yeah.
What
I'm
kind of
probably not gonna
host
watch this one.
just doesn't do much research?
I've got all these synopsises. That's
Just
a pretty
watch
good
Crash.
start. Yeah. Or, yeah. There's a couple of films coming out that are like this, I think. It would probably be better. Check out our reacts. I'm pretty sure there was one that was about it. Anyway. YouTube.com/Explosion Network. Next up, we have Magnum P.I.
You're fucking me, right?
Magnum P.I. is a modern take on the classic series starring Jay Hernandez as Thomas Magnum, a decorated former Navy SEAL who, upon returning home from Afghanistan, repurposes his military skills to become a private investigator. A charming rogue, an American hero, and a die-hard Detroit Tigers fan, Magnum has Julia Higgins and her Dobermans to keep him in line, as well as his trusted buddies and fellow prisoners of war survivors TC and Rick when he needs backup on the job. With keys to a vintage Ferrari in one hand, Avia's sunglasses in the other, and an old long neck chilling in the fridge, Thomas Magnum is back on the case.
Look, immediately it's going to fail because he doesn't have a mustache.
That is exactly the point. There's no point talking about the show anymore. No
Okay.
mustache, no... We'll talk on this podcast. I couldn't think of anything that rhymed but fit. Next up, we're going to jump over to ABC, and we have The Rookie. At an age where most are at the peak of their careers, John Nolan, played by Nathan Fillion, casts aside his comfortable small-town life and moves to LA to pursue his dream of becoming a cop. Now surrounded by rookies 20 years his junior, Nolan must navigate the dangerous, humorous, and unpredictable world of a young cop determined to make his second shot at life count.
I watched the trailer for this. It has its moments, but judging from it, it's too cliche, like, drama. Like,
Okay.
oh, like, I'm 40-year-old, I've earned my place here, and there's the gruff cop that doesn't trust him, like, you represent someone having a midlife crisis, and I can imagine through the show goes, oh, you're actually alright, man.
It's just... I'm so
Did Castle
sorry.
get cancelled?
Yeah, it got cancelled
Yep.
a couple years ago. I think the female lead wanted to do other stuff.
I'm so sorry, Nathan Fillion. You deserve so much better. Deserve so much better than this.
I don't know.
Where did
I'll check out an episode, Tolly. Just for Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, I guess.
He's the boy. He's my boy. Next up, we have Take Two. Sam Swift, played by Rachel Bilson, the former star of a hit cop series, is fresh out of rehab following a bender of epic proportions. Desperate to restart her career, she talks her way into shadowing rough and tumble private investigator Eddie Valtek as research for a potential comeback role. Though Lone Wolf Eddie resents the babysitting gig, high-spirited Sam proves herself to be surprisingly valuable during her acting skills in 200 episodes of playing a detective.
They fall in love.
Probably.
Yep, no, I'm good, thanks. No, thank you.
Yeah. Alright, next up we have Schooled, which is apparently the Goldbergs spin-off. Have either of you watched the Goldbergs?
No.
No? Well, this is probably not going to get you watching. The spin-off is set in 1990-something and follows the hilarious teachers of William Penn Academy, which are the people, Principal Gal Scott, Coach Mellor, and Lainey Lewis, who, despite their eccentricities and crazy personal lives, are heroes to their students. No?
No, thank you.
Yeah, maybe if we watched the Goldbergs, we'd be more interested, but I don't think so.
I don't. No.
Next up, A Million Little Things. They say friendship isn't one big thing, it's a million little things. And that's true for a group of friends from Boston who bonded under unexpected circumstances. Some have achieved success, Others are struggling in their careers and relationships, but all of them feel stuck in life. After one of them dies unexpectedly, it's just the wake-up call the others finally need to start living life. Along the way, they discover that friends may be the one thing to save them from themselves.
It's a little morbid. Take somebody to die for them to get their shit together.
Yeah.
The premise sounds like that that show on Netflix where someone dies and the brother comes back. Bloodline or something like that. But no, it sounds awful.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I'm good, thanks.
It's got James Roday from Psych, though.
Yeah, no, I'm
from
good,
what?
thanks.
Next up, we have Single Parents. The ensemble comedy follows a group of single parents as they lean on each other to help raise their 7-year-old kids and maintain some kind of personal lives outside of parenthood. The series begins with when the group meets Will, a 30-something guy who's been so focused on raising his daughter that he's lost sight of who he is as a man. When the other single parents see how far down the rabbit hole of PTA, parenting, and princesses Will is gone, they band together to get him out in the dating world and make him realize that being a great parent doesn't mean sacrificing everything about your own identity. Starring Taron Killam, Liam Meester, and Brad Garrett of Everybody Loves Raymond fame.
It looks
I'm
like it's had a
interested.
real rough life since Everyone Loves Raymond.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like he hasn't left the show.
I think
Maybe gone a bit grayer.
I'll give it one episode.
Yeah.
There's
like
a couple
Taron Killam.
there's a couple actors that I'm kind of like, okay, sure.
But I mean, yeah. But you should never work with kids, so they're just asking for trouble. Kids and animals. It's a known showbiz fact. Next up, we have Grand Hotel. Eva Longoria, executive produces this bold, provocative drama set at the last family-owned hotel in multicultural Miami Beach. Charismatic Santiago Mendoza owns the hotel with his glamorous second wife Gigi and their adult children enjoying the spoils of success. The hotel's loyal staff round out a contemporary, fresh take on the upstairs-downstairs story. Wealthy and beautiful guests bask in luxury, but scandals, escalating debt, and explosive secrets hide beneath the picture-perfect exterior. And apparently this is based on a Spanish series, which has been described as the Spanish Downton Abbey. But that was set in 1905. So,
Look,
been updated a bit.
I'm just a little bit. I think we've missed an opportunity here, Ashley.
Yeah.
I feel like this should have been a video podcast so you could see the range of disappointment on Nick and mine's face.
Let's be
Because
honest. Network TV is not aimed at us.
It's fucking terrible.
It's aimed at the masses.
So bad.
All right. Next up,
Oh, no, there's
we have
more.
the best named TV show of this season, Whiskey Cavalier. Whiskey Cavalier is a high-octane, hour-long action dramedy that follows the adventures of tough but
Wait,
tender...
did you just say dramedy?
Dramedy, yep.
Is that...
It's a word.
No, it's not. That's...
Yes, it is. It's a genre. The adventures of tough but tender FBI super agent Will Chase, codename Whiskey Cavalier, played by Scott Foley. Following an emotional breakup, Chase is assigned to work with badass CIA operative Francesca Frankie Trowbridge, codename Fiery Tribune, played by Lauren Cohen. Together, they lead an interagency team of flawed, funny, and heroic spies who periodically save the world and each other while navigating the rocky roads of friendship, romance, and office politics.
I like Laura Cohen.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. This
I
is
don't know.
some sick torture, right?
I mean, it could be fun. It could be fun.
Yeah, but so could, I
So
only
could a
got the
vasectomy.
energy. Thank you, Nick. I didn't have the energy to get through that sentence.
Next up, The Fix. Attorney and author Marcia Clark co-writes and executive produces a new legal drama about Maya Travis, an LA district attorney who suffers a devastating defeat while prosecuting an A-list actor for double murder. When her high-profile career derailed, she flees for a quieter life in Washington. 8 years later, when this same celebrity is under suspicion for another murder, Maya Travis is lured back to the DA's office for another chance at justice. Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna string this out for a whole season, but they're gonna try.
Just
Yep. Okay.
Just keep going, please. Make it stop. Oh,
Next
no.
up. The kids are all right. Set in the 1970s, this ensemble comedy follows a traditional Irish Catholic family, the Clearys, as they navigate big and small changes during one of America's most turbulent decades. In a working-class neighborhood outside Los Angeles, Mike and Peggy raise eight boisterous boys who live out their days with little supervision. The household is turned upside down when oldest son Lawrence returns home and announces he's quitting the seminary to go off and save the world. Times are changing, and this family will never be the same. There are 10 people.
Heaven?
There are 10 people, 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and everyone is in it for themselves. So no, not like Seventh Heaven.
What a terrible family. Everybody's in it for themselves?
Yeah.
What a Nah, just back off.
Oh, okay. Let's go to the next one.
Oh my god, how many more are there?
We're at this number 26 of 35.
Oh,
The Cool
my
Kids from
God.
Fox. 3 guy friends in a retirement community are the top dogs until they're blown out of the water by the newest member of the community, a female rebel who's ready to challenge their place. It's high school with 70-year-olds.
Look, this has potential. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Of all the shows so far, this has been the one that I'd give it a shot.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Old people are funny.
They can be.
Unless they're buying the lotto at Ash's work.
Yeah. Next up, we have The Passage. Based on author Justin Cronin's best-selling trilogy of the same name, The Passage is an epic, character-driven thriller written by Liz Hellandens, executive produced by Hellandens, Emmy Award winner and Academy Award and Golden Globe nominee Ridley Scott, and writer-director Matt Reeves. The Passage focuses on Project Noah, a secret medical facility where scientists are experimenting with a dangerous virus that could lead to the cure for all of disease, but also carries the potential to wipe out the human race. When a young girl is chosen to be a test subject, a federal agent is tasked with bringing her in, but ultimately becomes a surrogate father, determined to protect her at any costs, even as Project Noah's work threatens to unleash an unimaginable apocalypse. So it's like The Last of Us.
Yep.
I'd be more interested in this if it was done on a network that isn't this network. It was done like an
Not by
FX
Fox.
or a HBO or something like that. Because they have a tendency to go, these 24 episode seasons that just drag it out far too long and end up having filler.
Okay. Yeah. Be interesting. Next up, we have Proven Innocent, a legal drama set in a wrongful conviction firm. Led by a fierce and fearless female lawyer with a hunger for justice, the team reopens investigations, putting their own lives in danger to exonerate the innocent that were proven guilty. Proven with quotation marks.
Nelson and Murdoch.
Our lead's motivation comes from her infamous past as a young adult who was found guilty and later exonerated in a high-profile case in which she became a tabloid sensation, household name, and national celebrity. While a hero and a victim to some, her bold and bullish tactics garner her some enemies, one of whom will do anything to see her go down for a crime we know she did not commit. We will watch her defend others as she fights to retain her own innocence.
Honestly, this sounds like Karen Page out of Deadpool, but without any of the cool Deadpool stuff.
Did you mean
Not
Daredevil?
Deadpool, Daredevil, sorry.
Deadpool would a lawyer in Deadpool would have been interesting.
Would have been very interesting.
Yeah, pass. Next up, we have Rel. Lil Rel, a prideful, self-made success who lives by the code to always believe in yourself and great things will come, finds that attitude put to the test when he learns his wife is having an affair with his own barber. He tries to rebuild his life post-divorce as a long-distance single father on the south side of Chicago who's on the quest for love, respect, and a new barber. Inspired by Lil Rel Howery's real life. Apparently he was in Get Out. I don't know. I've no idea
he
who
was
he
the
is.
friend.
Yeah.
Ah, the
Not
friend.
interested.
Let's build they probably saw the Get Out. We're like, let's build a show around that guy.
Yeah. Moving on to the last Fox show. The biggest surprise in Fox this season. Last Man Standing. A revival of the ABC sitcom Last Man Standing stars Tim Allen as a married father of 3 girls who tries to maintain his manliness in a world increasingly dominated by women.
Hold
This
on,
is
hold
the
on.
honest renewal.
They cancelled Brooklyn Nine-Nine and Last Man on Earth.
Yep.
And they're bringing this.
Yep. I mean,
The sooner Fox gets bought, the better.
well, apparently this show was doing very well in its time slot back before it got cancelled, and Tim Allen has always claimed that it got cancelled because he's a conservative.
Yeah, there was a lot of controversy around it at the time.
Yeah. So it's coming back on Fox, which
I
makes
don't.
sense.
Do you reckon somebody had the contract for Last Man Standing and Last Man on Earth, and just kind
wrote
of
the
like
thing?
did the old switcheroo like Tim Allen?
it was like a drop-down menu, and they picked the wrong one.
Yeah, just picked the wrong one, or like he put the Last Man on Earth's contract over the top of the Last Man Standing contract.
Tim Allen just popped out of nowhere, and he's like, whatever his life.
Like he just paid, okay,
Yeah.
sure. How long ago was this cancelled?
2 years ago.
Oh my god!
So like last season, I think.
It's like so random just to
Yeah,
be
it
like,
was just pretty
oh, we're
weird.
bringing it back now.
Especially on the news, on the back of all those cancelled shows.
Yep.
Right, we're in the home stretch, guys. We're into CW.
5 more. Oh.
Yep. Next up, we have Charmed. After the tragic death of their mother, 3 sisters in a college town are stunned to discover they're witches.
No, Ashley, no, just stop. No, they're not.
Soon, this powerful threesome must stand together to fight the everyday and supernatural battles that all modern witches must face, from vanquishing powerful demons to toppling the patriarchy.
No.
Yeah.
No, Ashley.
No.
Yeah, it's back.
It can't be.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
No, like...
But they're all Latino women now, so it's completely different.
They're all Latino women, so it's different.
All right, next up, I apologize for the picture, guys. In the dark, a flawed and irreverent blind woman is the only witness to the murder of a drug-dealing friend. After the police dismiss her story, she sets out with her dog Pretzel to find the killer, while also managing a colourful dating life and the job she hates at the guide dog school owned by overprotective parents. I think this could be interesting. It's got a dog in it. It's got a blind woman. Got to boost those disabled.
Just hitting
people,
hitting the sweet spots, aren't we? A dog, a
Yeah.
blind woman. Here we go.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Nick?
I like the thumbnail.
Yeah. Apparently they couldn't get the dog to upfronts because they wanted to get him there, but they only found the show only got greenlit like a week ago, and they couldn't get visas for the dog
No.
Oh,
because he's in Toronto. All right, next up we have Roswell, New Mexico. After reluctantly returning to her tourist trap hometown of Roswell, New Mexico, the daughter of an undocumented immigrant discovers a shocking truth about her teenage crush, who is now a police officer. He's an alien who has kept his unearthly abilities hidden his entire life. She protects his secret as the two reconnect and begin to investigate his origins, but when a violent attack and long-standing government cover-up point to a greater alien presence on Earth, the politics of fear and hatred threaten to expose him and destroy their deepening romance.
typical CW show.
Yeah.
Pretty, yeah.
This is an odd one to reboot. Alright, next up we have Legacies. For the last decade, the iconic heroes and villains of the Vampire Diaries and the originals have captivated audiences worldwide. They left an enduring legacy of love and family in their wake, which continues in Legacies, a thrilling new drama that tells the story of the next generation of supernatural beings at the Salvador School for the Young and Gifted. It's here that Klaus Mikkelsen's daughter, 17-year-old Hope Mikkelsen, Alaric Saltzman's twins, Lizzie and Josie Saltzman, and other young adults, including political scion MG and the mysterious Landon Kirby, come of age in the most unconventionally way possible, nurtured to be their best selves in spite of the worst impulses. Will these young witches, vampires, and werewolves become heroes they want to be, or the villains they were born to be? As they fight to protect their secret, their town of Mystic Falls, and eventually the world, they will have to rely on the ancient folklore and tales to learn how to battle their far-reaching enemies.
Vampire Degrassi High.
Yep, pretty much.
How do they keep making spin-offs of these shows? Far out.
Well, they write a script.
Ash,
cast a bunch of
go.
people.
Ashley.
All right.
Ashley.
All right, number 35.
Oh my god, we're at the
I
end.
thought that was the end.
Oh no.
All-American. Spencer James is a rising high school football player and an A student at South Crenshaw High. But when Beverly High School's football coach, Billy Baker, recruits him to join his team in Beverly Hills, Spencer's mother, Grace, and his best friend, Coop, convince Spencer it's an opportunity he has to seize. Now Spencer must navigate two worlds, the Southside neighborhood that he knows, and the affluent Beverly Hills world that has offered him an opportunity for something bigger. When Spencer is forced to move in with Billy and his family to protect his transfer permit to Beverly, Billy's son Jordan, the team's starting quarterback, is less than thrilled to be sharing his father's attention, or the team spotlight, with Spencer. While Spencer struggles to find his footing, he makes an unlikely friend in Jordan's sister Olivia, who is also dealing with her own demons. He also quickly develops a crush on his classmate Layla, something her boyfriend Asher quickly realizes, so he sets out to drive Spencer off the football team and out of Beverly Hills for good. I've heard it described as the OC with football.
You mean Friday Night Lights?
No. Well, kind of. No, but apparently somebody says, "Welcome to Beverly Hills." But doesn't have the bitch.
Look,
you know how in the OC he goes, "Welcome to the OC, bitch."
But
So,
The CW oversells their fucking shows. Oh my god, that was those long like they could have kept the premise just so short. I'll watch
I
it.
could have
I'll
found a
watch
shorter
this.
premise, but I enjoyed reading it.
I'll watch
Yeah,
this.
it sounds interesting.
It
Anything with football, right?
what depends on my continuing to watching it is how much they focus on the football side.
Yeah.
I think
Probably-
Friday Night Lights gets the balance right.
Yeah. If they can come even close to Friday Night Lights, I'd be pretty happy.
The concern I have is that the football will be such a minor part of it.
the football will be a vehicle for the rest of the show.
Yeah. All right. I've got to tell you guys something. There's one more show that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, Ashley.
It's the one that's divided the internet the most this week.
Oh, Ashley.
Thundercats Raw. Staying true to the premise of the original series, Lion-O and the Thundercats, Tigra, Panthro, Chitara, Willy Cat and Willy Kid barely escape the sudden destruction of their home world Thundera, only to crash on the mysterious and exotic planet of Third Earth. Lion-O, the newly anointed Lord of the Thundercats, attempts to lead the team as they make this planet their new home. A bizarre host of creatures and villains stand in their way, including the evil Mumra, Third Earth's wicked ruler who let nothing, including the Thundercats, stop his tyrannical reign over the planet. What do you guys think?
The only interaction I've ever had with Thundercats is a Commodore 64 game, and it ends there. I have no interest in this whatsoever.
Yeah.
I like it how it's like, it stays true to the original Thundercats, blah, 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 but, like, the drawings are freaking horrible. Like, I think I saw a meme of this just before I came on to record, where it's like, you know, you see yourself out as a villain or as a hero or end as a villain, and it's like the original Thundercats than this.
I mean, have you seen the original Thundercats?
I have.
It doesn't look great.
But it was good, though.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
No. I don't mind. I like the art style. I like cartoony stuff. But the internet backlash against this has been insane.
Yeah.
Who the actual gives an actual fuck?
Everybody's mostly angry because they had the 2011 series, which was apparently very, very good, that got cancelled after one season. And then
This
they come
just
back with
looks
this,
like-
which is apparently going to be very comedy-based.
Well, it just looks like they're trying to like do in the same vein as like Adventure Time,
Yeah.
Steven Universe,
Yep.
all that kind of crazy shenanigans.
Why wouldn't you? Those are incredibly successful shows.
They are, but you don't need to Thundercats those things. Just continue doing those.
Well, when the option is no Thundercats or this, I guess.
Most people would say no Thundercats.
Well, you haven't even seen an episode yet,
Most
so
people
it's a
would
bit...
say no Thundercats.
Okay. Ciaran, what movie did we end up watching this week?
Well, through, rigorous and me talking to Ashley several times before in my life, I've spoke to him a little bit, we ended up watching the fantastic Silence of the Lambs.
You told me you don't spook easily.
You call this easy, sir?
Lecter's missing an arm.
Man's a raving maniac. Who knows what he'll do?
Thank you, Clary. Thank you.
Ashley had said he's never watched it because
It's
it was scary.
I didn't say that specifically, but
You hinted at it. And
because
for
that's
me,
a gimmick, right?
apparently. And for me, I find the performance by Anthony Hopkins to be fucking amazing in this movie, as was rewarded to him with an Oscar for 18 minutes of freaking screen time. This movie is a fantastic thriller. The story and the actual plot is really good, as well as the character of Hannibal Lecter. Starting off, like, it's just so good. How, Ashley, like, Nick, you've watched it before, hadn't you?
I have.
You have. Ashley, what did you think?
Yeah, it was good. I enjoy it. I wouldn't say I enjoyed it, but I understand why it's so well regarded. I felt that maybe it was a little bit long. I mean, every time Anthony Hopkins is on screen, it's like you can't keep your eyes off him.
Yeah.
He's incredible to watch. But Buffalo Bill is not as interesting.
Yeah, I understand
Yeah.
that. I think,
Although I did understand where the well thing came from now. I didn't know. I'd seen that reference in different places. I didn't realize it was from this.
so what? So you didn't? So wait. So what? You said you didn't enjoy watching it. Like, were you just?
Yeah, I don't think it's an enjoyable experience. I think, I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to watch Silence of the Lambs.
I enjoy watching Silence of the Lambs. It's a great experience.
I think I wonder what that says about you. Nick, do you want to give us your mini review for Silence of the Lambs?
The Silence of the Lambs. This movie is a perfect study of tension. Hopkins' portrayal of Lecter as one of the best cinematic villains. It's very, very graphic and vulgar and doesn't hold any stops. However, there are some goofy scenes and heavy-handed foreshadowing. 9 out of 10.
All right, from there, let's go into spoilers, because there is one shot or one sequence that, like, almost ruined the film for me. That's the night vision sequence right at the very end.
Oh,
That is terrible. It goes on for so long. I mean, Jodie Foster's a pretty solid actor, but trying to sell that for that long it's a hard ask.
That
hard
scene
ask.
could have been a bit shorter, but I don't know how it would have ruined it. I don't know.
it's pretty ridiculous.
It's just, there's a little bit of that to this movie.
The thing I cracked up laughing is when Hannibal escapes the hotel or whatever, and the cops are moving down the hallway, and they bust into the room, and it's a very, like, fucking Naked Gun scene where they're all pointing up and around.
Yeah.
Or when Hannibal first breaks out of the handcuffs and he fucking starts chewing on the guy's head, it just looks so ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I guess they couldn't show...
No,
too
but
graphic.
it just looks comedic as opposed to...
Trying to make out with him. What's
Yeah. And the foreshadowing was pretty heavy-handed, especially like when Hannibal's strapped up in the cell and Shilton's in there lecturing, going, "Oh, there never was any deal," and he keeps on cutting to the pen on the bed, and then Hannibal staring at it, then back to the pen, then back to Hannibal. He's like, "Oh my god."
Well, you know, that was their attempt to build, like, I don't know, tension, I guess, with the foreshadowing. Being like, is Hannibal going to do it? Isn't he?
They could have done a quick cut. Just like
they could have just one cut.
Instead of, like, focusing on it for, like, a good 10 seconds or so.
Yeah, that's fair. I really like, I think, for me, my appreciation of Hopkins has evolved more since watching the entire 3 movies. Because he's featured a lot more in the other movies than he is in the first one. So, I really appreciate his take on Hannibal Lecter, and he's just so capturing and mesmerizing. Like, even just he embodies that character of Hannibal Lecter and how he was, like how his mannerisms, the way he talked, the way he the words he selected in his vocabulary seemed like very natural for Hopkins to go through and say.
He comes across as a very imposing character. Like, he can even talk someone into killing themselves.
Yeah. Like, you know, he... he's not a very Anthony Hopkins himself isn't a very physically imposing person.
No.
Like, he's not. You wouldn't be scared of him just looking at him. But just what the energy he brings to that character and the way that character speaks and just the little mannerisms of that character just make him so just imposing and quite frightening, to be perfectly honest. Yeah.
Have either of you seen any of the other 3 portrayals of Hannibal before?
I've watched the TV show with Mads.
I do want to check out the TV show.
Mads is
because it's done by Brian Fuller, who's pretty.
I was of the opinion that Mads had the best portrayal of Hannibal myself, and that was not watching Silence of the Lambs for a long time, but going back to this, it really sells how good Anthony Hopkins was.
I think Mads Mikkelsen's really good with the amount of screen time you get with Hannibal, being it's a TV show. But I think just because of the how short a time Anthony Hopkins spends in this movie, but they're always talking about him. He's always featured somehow in the script, in the writing. Yeah. There's always some talk about him, that he's always around in that movie, despite him having such a small runtime in the movie. And
what I think works so well for Silence of the Lambs is that he has such short runtime, because in Hannibal, that was a garbage movie, and Red Dragon, which I think is my favourite of the 3, but when he has more screen time, he's not as imposing or threatening, I find. When he's a more present threat, he isn't as, I don't know, not as imposing.
I think they take a very different direction with the other 2 movies compared to this movie. This movie's very probably is a lot more suspenseful and a lot more just like a different style of thriller, in my opinion. Like the other thriller, he's always around, but then this one's built up in just the small interactions you have with him and the piece of him, of him being spoken about by the other characters. I think for me, there's nothing more chilling than the scene with Jodie Foster talking about the lambs and stuff. Like that scene is like hairs stand up on the back of your neck when that scene's going on. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. Can we also talk about how fucked up Buffalo Bill's plot idea or his scheme is? He wants to make a woman's suit.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Messed up.
Yeah, it is. Buffalo Bill, I think for me, Buffalo Bill didn't have to be that, he wasn't that integral to the plot. Like, he probably could have been any psychopathic killer, really. Just for the motivation of getting Hannibal to work and stuff, and watching Hannibal, break down this person and understand them and everything.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me so hard.
All right, on that note, I think we've come to the end of this episode of What Do You Want to Watch? Ciaran, where can people find you on the internet?
People can find me on the Twitters at your boy Ringo, or over on twitch.tv/Explosion Network.
Nick, where can people find you on the Twitter?
You can find me at Dr. Chiltron.
Or at Lord and Pryor, both on Twitter and on Trakt.tv, where you can also find me at Ashley Hobley, ASHLEYHOBLEY. It's a thing. Or on Twitter at that same address that I just said. Again, you can check us out on twitch.tv/Explosion Network. For Alderaan Explosion, we might be doing a live episode. I don't know if you'll find. By the time this comes out, you'll know.
Damn straight, you'll know.
Yeah, we'll be talking about Solo, a Star Wars story. Or you can check it out later, probably at youtube.com/Explosion Network, if we do a live video, which I assume we're going to do, because why not? Or you can find it at explosionnetwork.com, where you can find all our stuff, including Early Late Nights, Top 5 with Nicholas Pryor, Platinum Explosion, Pleasure Explosion, other stuff I can't think of off the top of my head, including
Early
reviews.
Late Nights with Ciaran Marchant.
I'm pretty sure that was the first thing I said.
Was it? Well, that's just...
If it was, let us know at mail@explosionnetwork.com. Put in the subject line, Ciaran, you're wrong, as usual.
Do it.
or leave that message in an iTunes review on iTunes. Maybe with a 5-star rating.
5 stars.
It would help. It helps with the algorithm and that sort of thing. I don't know. It's very confusing. It makes almost as much sense as YouTube Music. I wonder if they'll have a 5-star rating system. Do you think they will?
Maybe they will.
podcasts.
What does Google Music have? Maybe they'll just steal that when Google Music dies and they have to go over to YouTube Music.
Don't know. You can't get
When they
Google
dig up the
Music
corpse.
podcasts in Australia.
No. Never will.
Damn.
Because dying. Well, until next time, keep watching stuff, I guess.
Hello, it's Ciaran here from the Explosion Network, and this be your ad read from May 2018. If you're a fan of top 10 lists, then boy oh boy do we have a show for you that does just as well as BuzzFeed, WatchMojo, IGN, or anywhere bloody else, to be perfectly honest, but in about half the time. Top 5 with Nick is currently airing in its first season, and the season's theme is video games. We love video games here at the Explosion Network. Join Nick and 2 guests every fortnight as they break down topics like launch games, gaming peripherals, and first-person shooters. Explosion Network's bulletin board! Older on Explosion is back this month. Join Dylan and guests for 3 episodes from May 11th in lead up to Solo. Oh, it's coming! It's so close! If you're watching Westworld Season 2 at the moment, make sure you follow us over at twitch.tv/Explosion Network for Bevanworld. Our weekly recap and discussion about Westworld. Find it all on our Twitch channel, and once again, twitch.tv/Explosion Network, or over at our YouTube, youtube.com/Explosion Network. Have a fantastic May.